Hi everyone, today I am going to explain congestion control using leaky bucket algorithm. First of all, we will discuss what is congestion, how does it occur. Actually, congestion is a situation in a communication network in which too many packets are present in the part of a subnet, so which degrades the performance. That we can call it as a congestion. Congestion in network which may occur when the load on the particular network, so that is the number of packets sent to the network which is greater than the capacity of the actual network. So there are many reasons of congestion in a subnet or cause of congestion in a subnet. So we have listed some of the causes here. So the here first one, the input traffic rate exceeds the capacity of the output line. So this is the we are considering primary cause. So whatever the input rate which exceeds the capacity of the output line, so usually congestion will occur in a subnet. The second one is the routers are too slow, depending upon the capacity of the router to perform bookkeeping tasks. For example, keeping buffers, updating tables, routing the tables, etc. So depends upon the type of the router, so we need to see this is one of the cause of congestion in a subnet. So the next one is the router's buffer is too limited. Again, this is in terms of the capacity of the routers. Next is congestion in a subnet can occur if the processors are slow. This will be the again one of the main causes. What type of processors are we used? So in case of any uh, latest we are using very less chance for the congestion in a subnet, and old processor like P4 or P3 Pentium dual core, so there is a chance of occurring the congestion is more. So another is congestion is also slow, which is caused by the slow link. So link means which are depending upon the what type of the cable used. So this is also one of the factors cause of the congestion in a subnet. So in continued with this, congestion control refers to technique and mechanism. So we can say it is a one of the techniques and it is a mechanism. So that can prevent congestion before it happens. This is the one way, or remove congestion after it has happened. So in regarding this, so we need to discuss about traffic shaping. So traffic shaping, it is a method of congestion control by providing shape to the data flow before entering the packet into the network. So we can, this is the mechanism or method. So congestion control which providing the shape to the data flow, or it is giving particular timings to the packet of the data into the network. So at connection setup time, here the sender and carrier negotiate a traffic pattern. This is called as a shape. So we usually call it as a shape. So sender and a carrier, so whatever the data is going to send, and carrier what type of the carrying the data packet or flow, both should be negotiate in a traffic pattern particular shape, so that they are deciding, that is called as a traffic shaping. So actually these two traffic shaping algorithms, so we are going to implement. So one is leaky bucket, and at the same time another one is the token bucket. But we will discuss about only the leaky bucket algorithm of traffic shaping. So now we will discuss the leaky bucket algorithm. The leaky bucket algorithm, which is used to control the data flow rate in a network. So we know that it is implemented as a single server queue with a constant service time. Service time is here very constant. And if the bucket, so usually bucket, the word we have taken for the buffer. So bucket overflows, and it indicates that buffer overflows, then packets are discarded. Actually, in this algorithm, input rate can vary, but output rate remains constant. So that's why I have taken constant service time. This is the scenario where we can understand what exactly the leaky bucket algorithm. So in the first figure A, leaky bucket with water. So usually we have taken it, that is the buffer is we have compared to the bucket. So we have getting the water from the tap. So burst overflow variable rate. So incoming, that is the water is coming from the tap. It depends. It may vary or speed or slow, whatever it is. So the bucket, we will make it one fixed flow constant rate, that is a leaky hole, that is a one hole in the mid of the bucket. So that much water is going to the in the next level. So that is the leaky bucket. So when the water coming upper side, which is very fast, automatically the uh, water will be overflow in the particular bucket. So same concept, actually we have implemented a leaky bucket with a data packet in the network terminology. So first we have taken this is the host computer. So assume that in a host computer we have to unregulated flow of the data. So that is called as a packet. So this is the buffer. Bucket holds the packet. So interface containing leaky bucket. So usually we can call it as a buffer of the particular router or network in the subnet. So bucket holds the packet depending on unregulated flow. So we are making timings, that is in the network in the leaky bucket concept, that is the regulated flow. Only that much packet is going to the next in the network layers. So this is the actual concept of the leaky bucket algorithm. Technically, what we speak about this leaky bucket algorithm is the host inject one packet per clock tick on to the network. This is the technical word. So this we have taken this result in a uniform flow of packet, smoothing out burst, and this will reducing a congestion. So let us we can compare with the leaky bucket versus token bucket. So we know that leaky bucket which discards the packet when it overflows. Usually in the token bucket, before actual packet sending, they are generating a tokens. So that is it doesn't discard the packet. So in the token packet, which will discard only tokens when it is overflows. So that is the major difference between leaky bucket versus token bucket. And leaky bucket sends a packet an average rate, we know that, and token bucket which allows the large burst to be sent faster by speeding up the depending upon the output. So take here leaky bucket which allows saving up tokens, which depending upon the permission of the network, so which will saving the token to send a large burst. But in leaky bucket, which doesn't allow the saving, which will not save, that permission is also not allowed. So this is the sample output of the program execution of the leaky bucket in terms of the packet or data size. So in the programmatically we have designed the number of packet, how many packet is required, and the similarly output rate and the bucket size. So here this is the sample program. Any way we can implement this leaky bucket algorithm depending upon the time and the different constraint. This is the one way to implement this. Here enter the bucket size will be taken. So in terms of bytes we are taking here. Output rate again we are making 100 bytes this per clock time. So here first packet, that is randomly we have designed the random function used for taking the size of the packet, generating the packets. Okay. So here incoming packet, as per the assume that number one, the packet size it is which is generated as 85. So here output rate usually we have 100, so which will pass that within that because output rate is 100, the packet size usually 85 byte, so which is less than that output rate. Obviously, which will pass. So we are just going to show that remaining byte are 85. It's the last byte whatever we sent it is 85. The output rate are successful. Similarly, here the second one is 75. This is also same thing. So next is, so your incoming packet is 71. This is also same thing. Again incoming packet 28. This is also the same thing. Again incoming packet is 32, which are going to send because output rate is 100. All incoming packet are which are less than the output rate, which will pass to the another layer easily. There is no rejection at all. So again we will take another example. So here the bucket size is 10, output rate is 5. So now we will see that packet will be generated, incoming first packet, the packet size is 49. Obviously this 49 will be, we need to compare to the first bucket size. Usually bucket size is, the buffer capacity itself is 10 bytes. The coming packet size total is 49 bytes. Obviously bucket overflow and packet is rejected. Similarly, second is again 65. This will also going to reject. Similarly, third one is 95, which is also going to reject it. And fourth incoming packet size is 88 byte. Bucket again overflow, the again it is rejected. Similarly, incoming packet number 5 and the packet size is 69. Again bucket overflow, the packet is rejected. So another way also we can run, suppose that output rate is 100, incoming packet bucket size is 500, incoming packet is 200. First 100 byte will be passed to the next layer, and it is the remaining is 100. Again that remaining 100 will be go. Similarly, incoming packet 220, first 100, second 100, remaining 20 will go by the last. So these are the three. There are three ways, three possibilities. Even more than that, possibilities also available. This is the one way of implementing, or we can see the execution of leaky bucket algorithm.